Hey my loves, welcome back to Lavendaire. So today we're talking about how to get your life back on track. So I know we all fall off track sometimes. We're only human. Literally everyone does it. You know, you set a goal or you want to be consistent with the habits and then you just fall off and you give up. Maybe you just got lazy or you got busy. What matters is not that you've fallen off, but that you get back on. That's the more important part. So today I'm going to share 9 tips to help you get your life back on track. Whether you want to get back on track with your goals, your habits or routines, or your health, or anything else that matters to you. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We make videos on personal growth and lifestyle design, how to create your dream life. First step to getting your life back on track that is super important is to forgive yourself for getting off track. So usually it feels like such a struggle and it feels so bad when we get off track because we are hard on ourselves. Because we're like, oh, I set this goal, but I didn't achieve it, I gave up. And then you just put yourself down in your mind and you have all these negative thoughts. That is not helping you. That is actually making the cycle more difficult. It's making it more difficult to get back up again because you beat yourself up so much for failing or for making mistakes or for giving up. It's okay to fall off of your goals and your habits and your routines sometimes. We all do it. You know, we're human, we're imperfect. It's perfectly normal. What matters is not that you've fallen off, but that you make an effort to just try again and be gentle with yourself. Give yourself love in this process rather than being your own worst critic. You want to be your own best friend. Self-love and just being gentle with yourself is so important in this process because it just makes it easier. It makes things smoother. If you fall, if you get off track, you just tell yourself, you know what? I forgive myself for doing that. It's okay. No biggie. Let's just try again tomorrow. Like there's no tension and emotion and all this like negativity involved in that process. It's just, oh, I forgive myself. Let's try again. The second tip to help you get your life back on track is to review your why. Review why you set this goal in the first place, why you wanted to do this new habit or routine in the first place. Why does it matter so much to you? What are you going to get out of doing this thing? Write it down. Make sure you know why you're doing it. We tend to lose motivation as we're working towards a goal because we lose sight of why we started it in the first place. We lose sight of why it mattered so much to us in the first place, and we're just caught up in the daily grind. And that daily grind can feel really exhausting. So if you forget why you started, or maybe if your why isn't strong enough, if it's not compelling enough to give you that energy and that passion to keep going, then it's not gonna happen. You need to have a very strong why on why you want to achieve a goal or change your life in some way. It has to matter very deeply to you or you're gonna lose motivation to do it. My third tip on getting your life back on track is to start small and don't overwhelm yourself. So too often we are over ambitious and we try to do all these things at once. We try to change 5 habits at once. We just try to build this like completely new routine or completely new lifestyle, or just try to reach for too many goals at the same time. Be realistic about what you can actually do and keep up with. So say if you have like 5 things you want to work towards, start with the one that's most important to you or the most pressing and work on that until you feel like you've got the hang of it, until you feel like you've been like consistently working towards that goal and you're good and you feel like, okay, I think I can handle more. I think I can add another goal or another habit on top of that. It's okay to go slow. Sometimes it's better to go slow, do one thing at a time instead of trying to go fast and do everything at once because you're just gonna burn out and you're gonna give up. It's not sustainable. So the most important thing is that you're working towards your goals and the things you want to change in a sustainable, lasting way. And when you do that, you prevent yourself going through the cycle of like falling off track and having to get back on and falling off and getting back on. You're trying to build a habit slower so that you don't have to give up. You don't have to fall off. It's just slow and sustained. Tip number 4, build trust with yourself. So this is a huge one that I don't think people talk about as much as they should, but it's building your own trust with yourself. Meaning if you say you're gonna do something, you trust and believe that you are going to do it. If you're the type of person that sets a goal and be like, I'm gonna do this, and then you don't, then over time you're gonna lose trust with yourself. You're not even gonna believe yourself. If you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna exercise tomorrow, in the back of your mind, you don't even believe that you're gonna do that. You don't have that trust and that commitment to honor that promise with yourself. And this is kind of like the boy cries wolf syndrome. So it is super important to build a strong relationship with yourself, to be able to trust yourself, to trust that if you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. And the way that you build this trust is that you don't make big promises. Don't set those high expectations. You can just say something small, say something that you know you can do. So tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this small thing, and then do it. And then repeat. Keep doing that over and over again. It's the consistency and the repetition that builds that relationship. So if you keep breaking the promises that you make to yourself, you're gonna lose trust with yourself. There's not gonna be a strong relationship. But if you consistently honor the promises you make to yourself, then you build a stronger foundation and greater trust with yourself. One way to do this is to purchase your everyday items on a credit card with great cash rewards, like the Wells Fargo CashWise Visa card. So thanks to Wells Fargo for sponsoring this video. Wells Fargo is a trustworthy bank that's been around since 1852. With the CashWise card, cardholders can earn unlimited 1.5% cash rewards on purchases. Eligible new cardholders who spend a total of $500 in purchases in the first 3 months of opening the account earn a $150 cash rewards bonus. No category limitations and no quarterly activations to manage. You can earn 1.8% cash rewards on digital wallet purchases such as Google Pay or Apple Pay during the first 12 months from account opening. New customers may qualify for a low intro APR for 15 months. Earn cash rewards on recurring expenses like popular streaming subscriptions, car insurance, etc., as well as one-time purchases with a CashWise card. One of the flexible cash redemptions options is for Wells Fargo ATM or debit card holders to redeem for cash at Wells Fargo ATMs in $20 increments. You can click the link in the description to learn more about the Wells Fargo CashWise Visa card. Terms apply. All right, moving on. Tip number 5 to get back on track with your goals is to make it fun. You're only going to keep up with your goals if they bring you joy or satisfaction. If they don't, it's gonna be hard to keep it going. So if the goal naturally brings you joy or satisfaction by doing it, that is the ideal scenario. If you love creating and you have fun creating, then you're gonna be more motivated to keep doing it. If the goal or activity does not bring you joy, it's gonna be hard to keep up with it. But sometimes things in life are not really that fun, but we have to do it anyway, right? Like chores. For example, folding clothes is something that I always fall off track with. I just always leave it and procrastinate on doing it because it just doesn't seem fun to me. But if that's something that I want to be more consistent about doing and I want to get back on track with it, then I need to find a way to make it fun. So whether that's listening to music or a podcast while I'm folding clothes, making it like a ritual and a fun routine, or just being more present with the process of folding and finding satisfaction in making things look neat and tidy. Some people find satisfaction in that. Sometimes like neat things, organized things bring people joy. Everyone's different, but there's always a way you can make an activity or a goal more fun to do. My next tip for you is to make it visual. So you're more likely to keep going with something if you have a visual tracker or something to remind you to do it. So for example, one way to make it visual is to use a habit tracker. Not only does it remind you of the habits that you want to do more consistently, it also is very satisfying to see like the check marks. So if you're trying to do a daily habit, to just like see it visually, like the everyday ticks, and to not want to break that chain. Another way to make it visual is to put triggers in plain view. So whatever your goal is, put a visual trigger in front of you like throughout your day so that you're reminded to do that thing. So for example, if you want to work out more, put your workout clothes out on your desk or your chair so that you see it and you're like, okay, I have to put those on so that I can work out later. Another thing I do is I put like my vitamins on the counter so that I remember to take them every day. And also this is why we make vision boards, because they visually remind us of the goals that we want to achieve or the lifestyle that we want to achieve. So I don't know about you, but I love putting like post-its near my desk to just remind me of things that I want to be reminded of, like positive affirmations and things like that. The next tip I have for keeping your life on track is to consistently celebrate your small wins. It's so important to celebrate your wins no matter how big or small they are. A lot of people aren't used to celebrating themselves often. I think it's so important to be grateful and proud of yourself every single day. Celebrate something every single day, because when you're celebrating yourself and you're proud of, I achieved this little thing, it gives you a boost of confidence and motivation to keep going. A lot of people have this mindset like I don't deserve to celebrate myself because I'm not there yet. I haven't achieved the goal. It's this mindset of I'm not enough or I'm not enough yet. And that's not helpful because you're just holding yourself back. So you want to bask in that positive vibration of like celebrating you there, even if you've just accomplished like one baby step. That's still something to celebrate. I've shared this concept in a previous video, but I think it's worth sharing again here. Is there are two mindsets that a person can have towards their journey where you can tell which person is more likely to succeed. Okay, so the first mindset is looking ahead of you in your journey and seeing how far you have left to go before you meet your goal. The second mindset is looking back and seeing how far you've come already. So which one do you think is more likely to succeed? Comment down below what you think. You can pause right here. But the answer is the latter. It's that second person that looks behind and sees how far they come. That person is more likely to succeed. And the reason is because they are grateful and proud and they feel accomplished, like, oh, look how much I've done already. I've already come so far, even though I still have ways to go. The first person who only looks forward and looks at, oh my God, there's still so much left in this journey. Having that mindset makes you feel defeated. It makes you feel like you're not there yet and you don't deserve to celebrate yet. And there's still so much work to do. It kind of feels stressful to have that mindset all the time because you're never there. You're never enough. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what is the mindset that you have in your journey? Do you feel frustrated and defeated because you have so much left to go? Or do you feel proud of yourself and you celebrate and you're happy because you look behind and you're like, oh my God, I've come so far already? Tip number 8 is focus on the feelings. So this is a law of attraction tip, but it is to focus on the feeling that you want to have for achieving that goal or for keeping up with that habit or that lifestyle that you want to live. What is the feeling that you want to feel after you've achieved your goals, after you're living that ideal life that you want to live? Do you want to feel proud? Do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel on top of things? Do you want to feel confident? It's really interesting because when we're going after these goals and these ideal habits and routines, half of it is the physical, it's like the actual thing, but then the other half, we're going after it for the feeling we want to feel for being that person who's achieved that goal or who's living that dream life. And so what makes that interesting is feelings can be generated from within. There's only so many feelings, right? Yes, there's, a rainbow of feelings, but you can put yourself in situations to feel that thing. Or if you're like a good actor, you can feel that thing just by choosing to feel that feeling. So anyway, after you've listed all the feelings that you want to feel after you've achieved your goals, make a list of things you can do to bring those feelings into the now. Whether you're the person who can like feel it right now just because you choose to, like feel confident because you choose to, or to put yourself in mini situations to bring those feelings to you. So this is law of attraction because you're really just like feeling the feeling now so that you become that person already, even though you're like in the middle of trying to achieve that goal. For example, for me, I realized that I feel motivated and lit up when I am proud of myself. So I'm proud of myself for, doing all these big things, but I can also be proud of myself for doing small little things. So I've started to make a list of little activities I can do where I'd be like, I'm proud of myself for doing that. And because I'm feeling proud of myself more often, I'm celebrating myself, like I said, celebrating small wins, but that also puts me in a more positive state where my vibration is higher and I'm proud of myself more often. And so the more I'm proud of myself, the more I attract more opportunities and events for me to be proud of myself. So yeah, feel the feeling. My final tip for this video to help you get back on track with your life and your goals is to embrace imperfection and resilience. Life is imperfect, so just embrace that imperfection, knowing that that's going to happen, expecting things to not be perfect, because expecting perfection is crazy because it's never gonna happen. Understand that you are always a work in progress. What matters most is not that you are perfect and you get everything right and you're always on track, but that you are resilient. It's more important to be resilient than it is to be perfect. Resilience simply means being able to pick yourself back up no matter how many times you've fallen down. That is true strength. There's a saying that I'm sure you've heard before: fall down 7 times, get up 8. So that is resilience. So embracing imperfection and resilience means that you expect life to be imperfect. You expect obstacles and challenges to come your way. You expect to be thrown off track. It's normal. You accept that it is all part of the process. So instead of feeling not enough, that you're not on top of everything all the time, just embrace that that's part of the process. And the more important part is the resilience, the ability to pick yourself back up after you've fallen, no matter how many times you've fallen. Another way you can put this is when you expect for things to fall off track, then you can plan better for how to get things back on track faster, easier, smoother. So knowing this, you can be proactive and make a plan for what to do if anything happens. Hope you enjoyed these tips on how to get your life back on track, and comment below what is the one goal or habit that you're working on next. Remember, start small, don't overwhelm yourself, and pick one. So let me know down below. Love you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.